It's about to be settled in the pool.
Well, the 1500 freestyle is the only swimming event that's been held at every Olympic Games.
Rico Hell from Germany in lane 1.
Qualified in 15:11.91.
Alexei Philippe from Russia in lane number 2.
Qualified in 15:10.94.
Now the two Australians side by side. Lane 3. Grant Hackett, the world champion. Wonderful greeting.
Qualified in 15:07.50 and looks very focused today.
Barcelona and Atlanta, the world and Olympic record holder.
Looking to create history. Barcelona, Atlanta. And the question hangs in the air. Will it be Sydney? Kieran Perkins.
Qualified in 14:58.34, and he'll be enjoying this moment.
And one of the best swimmers in the world.
What hand will this man play? The first American to go under 15 minutes. Did it recently at their trials. Eric Vent.
Qualified in 15:05.11 and could be one of the danger men in this field.
Lane 6 from South Africa. Right Neefling.
Qualified in 15:09.12, and he looked like he had a lot left.
Silver medalist at the Pan Pams. Lane 7, the second of the Americans. This is Chris Thompson.
Qualified in 15:11.21.
Lane 8. Igor Chapinski, Ukraine, European champion.
Qualified in 15:12.30.
We've looked up the stairs. You were non-committal downstairs. What do you think now?
I just think it's going to be an interesting race in terms of tactics between Hackett and Perkins. And let's not forget the rest of the field as well. Will Hackett take it out fast in the first 400? Or will they swim off each other and then race for the gold in the last 50? Or will one of the internationals take it out hard and come up with a surprise victory?
If it becomes a sprint, who does that favour?
Probably Hackett. He's a lot faster over 100, 200 and 400. So if it came down to the last 50, you'd probably have to tip Hackett.
Called on their blocks. The two Australians side by side. The fancies here, 3 and 4. Set. Perkins, 12 on the blocks. The fastest qualifier yesterday in 14:58.34. World record holder in 14:41.66. Set back in 1994. Alongside him at his shoulder, the world champion Grant Hackett. He won in Perth in 14:51.7. A personal best of 14:45.66. Working down after the first 50. A long way to go.
Well, Neethling then staying with Hackett and Perkins, and I think Eric Vent's just using his legs a little bit too much. Eric Vent's in 5 at the moment, the American. He has to be careful not to play his cards too early.
Hackett by half a body length. Perkins, who went out so hard yesterday, content to sit at the moment. Vent alongside him. As I said, the first American under 15 minutes. 100 is gone. Hackett through in 55.36. Perkins 56.12. Vent is back in 3rd place. Neefling is 4th.
Well, Grant's looking a lot higher in the water than he did in his semi-final. And Kieran needs to get himself into a rhythm, and that's where he is so effective. If he can't find his rhythm, then that will affect Kieran's ability to swim a fast time. So it looks to me like Kieran is just establishing himself now, and he'll just sit off Grant's hips for probably about the next 300 or 400.
Nice turn by Hackett. Increased his lead slightly. A lot of speculation about his fitness, about his form. He finished 7th in the 400 back on Saturday. The 200, he finished 8th. That was on Monday. And his lead, just over a body length. Perkins clearly in 2nd place. Niefling is starting to move on. That's in lane 6. Splitting Perkins and Niefling is the American Eric Vent as we complete 200. Hackett around in 153.66. Perkins at his feet.
Now, one of the advantages that Grant Hackett has over Kieran Perkins is he works his turns a little bit harder. Now, that can also be a negative in a 1500 as well, because turns do take a lot out of you. And Kieran seems to relax a little bit more in the turn. So that could quite possibly. And here we see Kieran Perkins just trying to make a move on Grant. He's just trying to pick him up just a little bit. I think he's going to be trying to stay at his feet, and he doesn't want to let Grant get away any further.
They go through 250. Hackett still at body length, a little more in front of Kieran Perkins. Niefling possibly 1.5 meters away. Back in lane 6. In lane 7, Chris Thompson, the bronze medalist at the Pan Pacs, second at the US trials in 15.09.16. Looking leisurely enough in the water, challenging for third now as Hackett takes us through 300. Perkins needs to be careful. The margin just creeping out a little bit more. Hackett from Perkins, and Thompson has moved to third.
There's still a long way to go in the race, and Perkins is by no means out of the race at this stage. He's a great finisher, and he looks like he's found his rhythm, he's found his stroke. He's looking high in the water also, and he's fully suited up today. In the semi-finals, he only wore the pants that we see Grant Hackett wearing, and he's looking good at this stage of the race.
World champ out in front. Kieran Perkins clearly second. A break of about 5 meters now. Back to third. That's Thompson. Perkins, the gold medalist in Barcelona and Atlanta. His Olympic record, 14:43.48. As Hackett comes down to complete 400 meters. Always tough to race a legend, particularly one that's a teammate. Hackett, again, I think just increasing his lead ever so slightly.
Yes, Grant's working his turns very well. We see a great contrast here between the way Grant Hackett swims and also Kieran Perkins. Grant swims with a broken 4-beat kick, and we can see that there. Kieran's just working the legs a little bit more there. He's broken his 2-beat kick, and he's just picking up Grant. He's just staying in touch. And that's smart swimming by Kieran. Just not going to let him go at this stage. And if Kieran can stay with Grant, that's going to affect Grant's confidence. And we could see Kieran strike in about the last 300 meters.
Well, compare the Perkins of today to yesterday. How's he looking?
It's a little bit too early to tell at this stage, because yesterday Kieran was leading from the front of the pack, and now he's a little bit behind. But I still think he's looking a form swimmer. And as I said, I haven't seen Kieran swim this well in over 5 years. And he is staying in touch with Grant. And as we see here in the underwater shot, Grant is working those turns very well.
Through 500, Hackett our leader, 4:52.11. Perkins is second. Thompson swimming a good race across in lane 7. The American is third. Niefling would be next. Vent possibly about 12 meters off the speed being dictated by Grant Hackett of Australia. 20-year-old from the Gold Coast. Behind him, the 27-year-old looking to make history.
Dennis Cottrell, Grant Hackett's coach, and John Carew, Kieran Perkins' coach, both from Queensland. This is really the race of their lives as well. John Carew's done it twice before, Perkins in 92 and 96. This is the first time for Cottrell.
Hackett, a couple of meters now. Perkins in lane 4, the fastest qualifier, under 15 minutes yesterday. He was delighted. As we go through 600, 5:51.9, Hackett in front. Perkins clinging on. Expectations were high coming in, and they're still very high at the Sydney International Aquatic Centre. There's a buzz around this stadium. Across in 7, Thompson still clearly third. He's having a great swim so far. Can he maintain?
Now, from indications I'm getting from the splits, this is looking like it will be a sub 14:50 swim.
Wow.
Now, every now and again, you see Kieran Perkins breaking the 2-beat kick and moving into a 4-beat kick. That is unusual for Kieran. But as I said earlier, it's smart swimming by him. He cannot let Grant Hackett away too much. If he does, Grant will start to build his confidence and pull away even further. So Kieran needs to stay in touch, and that's exactly what he's doing.
It's a question about control as far as Kieran Perkins is concerned. Around he goes in second place. Hackett's time through 700, 6:51.9. How much does Perkins have left? How much too does Hackett have left? Approaching halfway. Next turn, the halfway mark in this event. Just get the feeling the cadence from Perkins has increased. The tempo suddenly has gone up. He's trying to get closer now. Hackett around. Perkins goes now.
Well, this is starting to get towards the business end of this particular 1500. And the arms would start to be hurting. The lactic acid will be building. The legs would be burning. And as I've said earlier, the stomach starts to really tighten up. And as we saw in 1991, Kieran Perkins finished and he nearly brought up his lunch because it's the toughest race on the calendar. And that's why the whole of Australia is watching today to see our two great champions go head-to-head.
The Americans, third and fourth. Thompson ahead of Vent. Neethling in fifth place. The action across in the center of the pool. Kieran Perkins in lane 4, swimming at the feet of Grant Hackett, the world champion.
And to me at this stage, Grant just looks like he's just slipped back a little bit. Still well ahead of Kieran, but I think Kieran's just picking up a little bit of ground. And Grant's still working his turns well, but Grant just looks to me at this stage of the race like he's just drops ever so slightly in the water. Now, there could be two reasons for that. One of them is he is getting tired, or number two is he could be settling into a rhythm, ready to and setting himself up to really build up in the last 500.
Both breathing to their right. So Hackett looking across at Perkins through 900. 8:51.36. Perkins in second place. Hackett is turning well, coming off the wall that time, increased his margin on Kieran Perkins.
And Kieran looks like he's just fatiguing a little bit here. He's got to maintain his stroke pattern, maintain his rhythm, push out the back of the stroke. And can't let Grant go.
Maybe, just maybe, he sent the message a day too early. Hackett increasing his lead now. He's up the tempo. Perkins tried to get him on the previous lap, had no success. And now the counterpunch comes from Hackett. Suddenly the margin 2 body lengths. Perkins in second place. Thompson, the American, third. Vent would be fourth. Neethling is fifth. Across in lane 2, Philippe is next best. A personal best of 15:07.76. Philippe was fourth in Perth. Look at Hackett coming down to 1,000 meters.
It's a 9:51.35. They're still looking. It's still looking like it's going to be a sub 14:50 swim.
And the interesting thing is the roar will inspire them both. The two Australians in front. Hackett from Perkins. Nothing much has changed. Only over the last 200 meters, the lead has become a little bigger.
Now they have both dropped off their earlier pace. Grant surged in the previous 100. He looks like he's just dropped away again. And he's trying to settle himself into rhythm. He's got to be careful not to surge and drop away, because that can affect... I know I keep harping on rhythm, but that's what it's all about in these 1500s. And if you keep varying your pace, it can take a lot of energy away from yourself, especially for that last 100.
This will be 1,100 meters. The challenge now with Kieran Perkins. The crowd sensing it. Hackett around first. 10:50.99. Perkins around now. 10:54.27. That's the margin. The two Americans stroke for stroke about 15 meters away. Thompson just shading Vent.
Okay, now Grant's lifted slightly here. He's started to drop his pace a little bit. Sorry, increase his pace a little bit. And he's pulling away from Kieran. This is the crunch of the race. This is where this race will be won and lost.
Hackett passes Perkins on his way back. Grant Hackett lifting the tempo again. Putting the challenge to Perkins now. Can Perkins respond? He has every other time. He realizes that Hackett He's increased his lead to about 4 or 5 metres now, coming down to 1200. After this, just 300 to swim. Chris Perkins, the silver medalist in the 400 in Barcelona a long time ago. He needs something now. He needs something special. Hackett's in front, though. Grant Hackett.
I have to say it's fantastic to see the Australians here in the stadium cheering Aussie, because they want to see Australia go 1-2, and that's what it's all about here in this 1500. We did it in 92, first and second. We did it in 96, first and second. Can we do it here in 2000?
Hackett goes around. Passes Perkins, coming back yet again. This could be a decisive break now. Hackett working hard, strong in the water, driving. Perkins appears a little laboured back in second place. Coming down to 1,300 metres. Hackett from Perkins.
Grant's just dropped his kick slightly and he just picked it up again there. Now Kieran's going to have to make a move now if he's going to get anywhere near Grant Hackett. It's 1,300, 200 to go.
Listen to that roar. The crowd urging both the Australians on. Came here today expecting gold and silver. They want it. They want it badly. And I don't think many of them cared who came first and who came second. But Hackett looks set for the goal. It will need something inspirational from Kieran Perkins here. I've never seen him in this situation before at an Olympics. 10 metres behind. Hackett comes around yet again. He's increasing his lead, Grant Hackett. He's eyeing the gold medal. Perkins around now. The margin, about 12 metres.
Well, there's a great battle on here between Philippets and Thompson in 2 and 7 for the bronze medal. They are swimming head-to-head at this stage, eyeing each other off, breathing towards each other. But the battle's at the front. Grant Hackett.
The bell through 1,400. Hackett. A lead of about 10 metres. Perkins hard off the wall. Philippes goes around in third place. Thompson would be fourth. Dent has fallen right back, the silver medalist in the 400. Look at this performance by Hackett. Hackett out by about 12 metres. He's increased the lead and the roar has gone up from the crowd. The Australians first and second. It looks likely they'll finish that way. Hackett on the final 50. Back down the pool. Grant Hackett, the 20-year-old from the Gold Coast. The crowd on their feet. It's been decided in the pool. 25 metres to swim. A changing of the guard. He's left a legend in his wake. He deserves to win. He hasn't lost since 1997. Grant Hackett headed for gold. Kieran Perkins will get the silver. Hackett in now. Gold to Australia. Grant Hackett wins. Kieran Perkins drives in for second in the silver. Hackett celebrates. Thompson is third, gets the bronze. He's unseated an icon as Grant Hackett and Perkins goes across to acknowledge his victory. Magnificent.
That is a magic moment in Australian swimming. Kieran Perkins congratulating Grant Hackett. The monkey is off his back. He is now the Olympic champion. There was nothing left for him to achieve. He's got everything. Next will be the world record. I must make the point, Kieran Perkins has just swum the race of his life, 14:53.59. I never would have thought that 2 years ago, Kieran Perkins was going to swim that fast. Magnificent swim from the Australians.
Just a wonderful moment. It's the crowd finding voice spontaneously. Olsen Matilda, Grant Hackett, the weight of the world off his shoulders. So much speculation. He's got the job done.
Right from the start, Grant Hackett went out after it. And he has regathered himself at these Olympic Games. There's been a lot of reports that he was out of form, but his coach, Dennis Cottrell, has been working towards this victory. Grant has trained for the 1500. He hasn't focused on the 2 or the 4. It's the 15 that he wanted. And he has achieved gold here in Sydney.
He would have been 11 years of age when Kieran won in Barcelona. I think you can say Kieran played a part in his own demise. Here's Lindley.
Grant, there must have been times when you doubted yourself. Everyone was questioning your form. What was it like stepping up there today?
Oh, I felt like I was written off like Kieran in 96, to be honest. I mean, the amount of stuff that was going around about me, and I knew this was my event, and I was so focused on myself and not what anyone else was saying. And man, I got my family and all that up there tonight. I wanted to show them something special.
Whereabouts in the race did you think this one's mine?
You know, in all honesty, I turned at the 100-metre mark easy, and I said, I can do this, you know. And then each 100, I never really knew I had it till I touched the wall, but I just kept saying to myself, you can do it, you can do it. Just keep the momentum, just keep it. I could see myself pulling away, and I know it was the best feeling.
You and Dennis Cottrell, your coach, have worked so hard for this. What does it mean to the two of you?
Oh, this is everything. I mean, this is the one that you want to win. This is Olympics in your own country. You know, here in Sydney, I mean, everything you've worked for, and it comes to this day, and I've done it, and I'm bloody happy.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Kieran, it's been a huge journey. It's been 4 years since Atlanta. There must have been times when you actually doubted whether or not you could do it.
Oh, plenty of times. You know, that heat swim yesterday morning was sort of symptomatic of the fact that I was, you know, I didn't even know if I'd make the final. I had to get in there, make sure that I was in, and you know, leave it up to chance tonight. But you know, look, all credit to Grant. He's deserved that. He's been up there for the last 4 years, and you know, I gave it absolutely everything I had tonight. So
that's all you can ask for, isn't it? Your coach, Mr. Crew, has been with you forever, or you've been with him forever. It must be pretty incredible to make it to 3 Olympics.
Oh, look, it is. You know, 18 years, and you know, really, when it comes down to it, I owe it all to him. You know, he taught me how to swim the strokes properly, coached me right up to this point now, and you know, after the career that I've had, it's been a team effort. And, you know, I really couldn't have done it without him, and take this opportunity to thank him, and also everybody else that's helped me through this. You know, my physio Pete Stanton, strength coach Ian King, my wife, my kids, you know, everybody that's been there right through the whole process, my sponsors who you know, they've supported me for a long time, and I wouldn't have been here tonight without them. So it's been a huge team effort, and you know, there's plenty more on the list, but thanks to everybody and this crowd. What can you say? I mean, it's just been a fantastic 8 nights of swimming, and I hope that capped it off for them.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Lily. Appreciate it.
A journey that began in Barcelona against the odds had continued in Atlanta. And Kieran Perkins almost